Before we dive into today's conversation, I have an exciting reminder for all my fellow designers and decorators. If you're ready to take your interior design business to the next level in 2025, the Profit Academy for Interior Designers is open and ready when you are. This 6-week online course is designed to help you increase your profits, take control of your business, and charge what you are truly worth. The best part? You can do it at your own pace. So whether you need it to fit into your busy schedule or you're ready to dive in and start making changes today, the Profit Academy is ready for you. With the Profit Academy, you will get a step-by-step roadmap to running a profitable design business, proven price strategies to increase confidently and profitably charge for your time and your designs, templates, worksheets, real-world tools to streamline your workflow, and the flexibility to complete the course on your schedule, because your business should work for you and not the other way around. If you're ready to get started, head to the link in the show notes, and in just 6 weeks, you can be running a more profitable and efficient design business. Now, let's get ready to talk to today's incredible guest. Let's talk about something that's truly changing the way interior designers work: community over competition. Today, I am thrilled to have Kathy Tonks on the podcast, a seasoned interior designer who has taken collaboration to the next level by creating a game-changing designer co-op. Imagine a space where designers can work side by side, share ideas, and have access to over 200 vendors, shared meeting spaces, and a full showroom of material, all under one roof. However, you're still running your own interior design company. That's not all. With the collective buying power of over 21 designers and growing, Kathy's co-op is unlocking exclusive discounts and vendor relationships that would have been nearly impossible for a sole designer to achieve on their own. So the beauty of what Kathy is building isn't just about resources, it's about banding the design community together to support and learn and grow. And from education days to vendor presentations to simply having a place to collaborate and connect, this co-op is truly a one-stop shop for designers looking to elevate their businesses. So let's be real. It's time to shake off the old secretive mindset of our industry and step into the future where we lift each other up. And today we're diving into how Kathy's vision of bringing designers together and why community could be the key to our success. So let's get into it. Hi there, interior design lovers. Welcome back to the Business of Beautiful Spaces, the podcast where we blend design inspiration with all behind-the-scenes tips and tricks you need to thrive in your business. I'm your host, Laura Thornton, and with over 27 years in this interior design game and running a 7-figure design company, trust me, I've seen it all. I want to be your interior design bestie. I want to help you build the business of your dreams, make more money, and yes, ditch the stress along the way. I've been doing this for a long time, and now I'm sharing my knowledge with all of you, my fellow designers and decorators. All I ask in return is that you like, review, and follow this podcast wherever you listen, so other designers can find us and learn more too. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into making 2025 your best business year yet. Welcome back to another episode of the Business of Beautiful Spaces. Welcome, Kathy Tonks. I'm so glad you're here today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Laura.
I'm going to let everybody know that Kathy and I know each other outside of this. So if it sounds like two people who have had this conversation maybe before, it might be. So before we get going into all the wonderful things that you're doing for the interior design industry, will you share with us how you got into interior design and your journey?
My journey in design, my original first career was I was a bridal consultant. And I think the love of fabrics and colors and textures and all that started there. Always crazy in my house. I think I painted my house 100,000 times over and over, like we always do, moving our furniture around. And we opened a construction company, and my husband would ask me to help his clients with color consultation, help them pick a color, help them with a tile, help them. So I started to do that, and I thought, wow, I was pretty good at this. And I really wanted to go back to school. So I reached out and went to the local college and started some classes and absolutely loved it. So that's how it started. So I started my journey, and I've never looked back. So we just had our 20th year in January of this year. And I just am very blessed and that I get to do what I love.
And 20 years is a huge accomplishment. So congratulations, because
Thank
you
you.
realize as we get into these milestones, how few of us have gotten here. And that's when you
Yes.
really look back and see
Yeah.
what you've done and and how much hard work it is to get there. So you've had your own
Absolutely.
business for 20 years and
Hmm.
you're residential, correct? Interior
I
design.
prefer residential. I've done some commercial, but it's not, I typically will only do commercial for existing clients. Hey, can you come do my office? Sure, I can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I same. And I started
Yeah.
in commercial and made my way to residential. And then it was people were like, but you still do it. And then I would do both their offices
Yes.
and their homes. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah,
a great
absolutely.
link, right? So,
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
So you've been doing that for 20 years and
Yes.
kind of like me, all your experience, you saw a niche market and you have
Hmm.
created the design co-op. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, actually. So the design co-op, I actually started in this co-op about 17 years ago. And I met a wonderful lady, uh, Becky Sena, that had brought the co-op up here to Sacramento. And so there was just a few of us. It was just a great opportunity. The first year that I was part of the group, I tripled my income um, because I had no idea. I had no idea that there was a better way of purchasing, right? Um, so Becky and I became partners. She wanted to retire, and our group is fairly small, usually about between 5 to 7 ladies. Always had a small space, but it just always seemed to work out great. We had a place to come, we had a place to source from. So managing the co-op is a whole nother thing. It is a pretty big job, but I did decide to help Becky, and we were partners for quite some time, and then she retired. So in the time that I've actually took over the co-op, because I'm anal retentive and I want everything to be perfect. So I moved the co-op to a larger space than what we were in previously. And really, it started, as I was learning how to manage the accounts and how to make our community strong. It just kind of kept getting bigger and better. Uh, More people wanted to be part of it. Then I would have ladies that wanted to have office space. So when it was time for me to renew our lease, it was just natural for me. So we've just moved this past year to a 5,000 square foot office space. And it's actually much better than I had ever could imagine. The services and the products and the displays, and I have a live kitchen now, so we partnered with Monogram. So it just elevates all of our brands so much. So now we're 21 designers, and I think that uh, so now we have 21 designers and more people. I have office space for I have seven offices that are all rented out and people are waiting for it. So I just am passionate about the fact that, kind of like you, this is why I think Laura, I just have been so drawn to you, because I feel the same way. I just want people to know that there's a better way. There's a better way to be successful. They can elevate their brand to where they want it to be. When they bring clients here to present, it's a whole nother level of interior design, right? So they may not they may not want to have their own separate office. It's a lot to
Mhm.
have to take that on yourself. Um, So anyway, so that's our co-op, and we have created a community that is just beyond amazing. I mean, we just after the first year, we did a, a manifesting party. So we all did vision
Love
boards
that.
and talked about our goals for the year, and it just even makes that relationship even much deeper, because we're sharing in all those things. And um, we share resources. You know.
Well, even just having other designers to discuss anything with, like
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, there's so much to unpack from. I have so many questions about what you just said, so I'm going to jump probably all over the place. But first of all,
That's
thank you
fine.
for your kind words because I think people like you and I have been doing this now for decades. And
Hmm.
if someone existed that was willing to share or to teach you how that you can further your business and be more profitable by using your services, it would have game changed. Like I actually think sometimes where would I have been if I had had this information at,
Hmm.
so many years could I have been retired early? Would you have been
Yeah.
big? Like all of this is so great that because it has been, I've always said it, I'll say it a million times. We were such a secretive community of
Oh,
designers. We
very
weren't a
much
community.
so.
We were very
Hmm.
secretive. We were actually, you
Yeah.
stay in your corner. I'm going to stay over
Stay
here
in
and
mine.
don't, yeah, like it was
Hmm.
very much like you stay in your lane. Um,
Hmm.
and I think it is still like that in some ways for sure,
Yes.
but obviously
Hmm.
that's changing and thankfully so. So, I mean, that's why I started doing this was because I wanted somebody else to benefit from years of
Hmm.
trying it and figuring it out. And if they can do it sooner and make money faster, then great. Because to your point, your first year with your co-op tripled your profit, not
Yep.
income, revenue, one thing,
Yep.
your profits.
Profit.
That's the key. And if you are listening and you are not buying furniture and finishes, FF&E for your clients, this is going to be a game changer for you. This
Oh,
is going to game
absolutely.
change your business. And any seasoned designer who has taken that portion of that business on will tell you the same thing. There are
Hmm.
so many hours in a day. There is only so much time you can charge for. At some point, you're tapped out your income other than raising your rates.
Yep.
And so you have to figure out other avenues and other revenue streams that can come into your business. And so just to kind of bring it back to your co-op, the co-op was something where you started having vendors that you would collectively have buying power so
Yep.
that you were getting steeper, greater discounts for you and for your clients.
Hmm.
But also, you have made it in a way that now there is a showroom for designers
Hmm.
to come and bring clients and show these pieces and show the working kitchen and show the
Hmm.
appliances. And now you have this incredible space that will also give confidence to any designer walking in there. It's not
Yeah.
like you're showing up at a showroom that they could have moved everything since the last time you've been there. You know where the
Yep.
things are, you know the lines that are tried, tested,
And
true,
true.
quality driven. You can control and you know so much more about it because you're speccing them all the time. So even if
Yep.
you're someone that has not, correct me if I'm wrong, Kathy, if you have not invested in your own space yet, you can
Hmm.
still come and buy and use your facility as a
Resources.
tool, yeah, to be able
Absolutely.
to purchase and
Yeah.
buy. And then in addition to that, you clearly have already have a demand to outgrow your new space when you already
Yeah.
got rid of all your offices are rented and there's a waiting list.
There- well, we are now. I just took on another 1,200 square feet, so we're now going back into
Yes.
construction. And my last piece that I need for our showroom is a place to place specific seating, or some upholstery. So
Mm-hmm.
then everybody wants a sit test, right? So I think that we're going to try to bring in some key pieces of furniture and have a few more office spaces. But it's, we have everything. So this is, we have kitchen and bath designers, but we have some designers that all they want to do is furniture, and that's okay. But we do carry flooring, carpet, tile, cabinetry, countertops, all furniture and accessories, art, so all of our accounts cover all of those things. So and when you buy together, even whether it's with me or somebody else, the more you join together and you purchase, I can go in and negotiate pricing
Mm-hmm.
because our volume is much higher. So I've got accounts. Sometimes it's taken me 2, 3 years of,
Building it.
nagging and
Yeah.
nagging and building and
Yes.
building. And
Yeah.
then, to where all of a sudden they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do that for you. And
Right.
because they want us to
Your
source
business.
from them. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes. And so we also do a rep day once a month, every second Tuesday of the month. And it's always a great time. And I love it because I feel like we stay up to date on what's going on. So reps come in all day and they show us all the new stuff. They do presentations. Sometimes it's a learning thing. Sometimes it's just touching, feeling all the new fabrics. You know how that goes. Um, but it also creates great relationships with our vendors, with our reps. I think to me, our relationships with the reps are everything because I can call my rep and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this type of fabric, but you know, what would your recommendation be?" And they'll send me two, three things, and so it cuts my time down.
Mm-hmm.
And the closer the relationship we have with those vendors, they're in the showroom more. They want to come here. They like it here.
Yeah.
And then they will pull their stuff. If there's something that's discontinued, they're going to go through all their products and make sure they're keeping us up to date. So,
Well, even just having like, we are not a co-op, but I do have my sample room. And,
yeah,
it's very smart of vendors to come in and keep it current, but also
absolutely.
we have vendors that work really hard. And when they're the ones that are coming here every month and they're spending time with us and they're bringing
You're
us all,
looking at them first.
that's right. You want to
Hmm.
work with them. So
Absolutely.
we will try to push business to those that are working harder for us. And so it's a
Uh-huh.
two-way street,
It
but it really
is.
benefits, like to your point, like we were stuck trying to find like this very super traditional plaid. No one seemed to have it that, otherwise it was itchy, it gave you
Oh,
the ick. And so you're
yeah.
like, okay. And so we reached out and they did the legwork for us.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
were ready to go down and spend a whole day in the city, and they're like, "No, no, I got this. I'm going to find it. We have it. I know and we didn't have to spend that time and that effort and those hours away from our studio, which
Yeah.
is all billable time that you can't
Hmm.
get back, and the kilometers or miles
Yeah.
for you guys,
Yeah.
the gas, all those good
Yeah.
things. But they did the legwork for us because they value our business
Hmm.
and
Yep.
because we keep
Absolutely.
feeding it. It's a two-way street.
Hmm.
And then a lot of the times too, like if there is something you are looking for, or they come in and they see the things you're working on and they see that you've pulled somebody else's, they will, not all the time, but they might even give you a better price to work with theirs. They might be able to
Hmm.
fandangle something to try and get that price point where you need it to be,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
that's the beauty of having vendor relations, using the
Yes.
same and with the volume that you're doing, obviously that's really more coveted than
Yeah.
just, one design house. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it does. I feel like we need more of this business model uh, in more places, and so that is something that I kind of just keep putting out there, and so it might happen someday.
So is there fees, like a monthly fee to join your
You said we have
co-op?
a so
Yeah.
we have membership fees, which is for them to have access to all of the accounts, and then basically they get there's a service fee on whatever
Hmm.
they purchase, right? So, and it's pretty small. I mean, I've had to really track it to make sure that I'm not upside down, but I just want it to be. It's really been a passion project, and just really wanting to be passionate to teach people that
Hmm.
to teach our community. When I hear that someone is buying retail or going,
Me too.
oh my gosh,
Me too. It hurts.
why are you doing that? I mean, I even try to keep a bunch of accessories around here just so if we're staging or we're doing photo shoots, we have the stuff. Go sell it to your customer.
Yes.
Don't go to the local
Yeah.
store
Home Goods
and
or Home
home
Sense or
goods. Yeah,
yeah, I know.
just
Because that's what it looks like at the end of all that thought and concentration and
yeah,
effort to make a space beautiful. You're putting in $30 to $50 items that just
yeah,
takes away
yeah.
all the
The
effort and
wow.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I
Hmm.
agree with
Yeah,
you. So I
yeah.
have a question too about the if someone is considering joining, I think it's not
Hmm.
just the discount. It sounds like you also community and you're educating and you're having
Yes.
trade days essentially, and you're not open to the
Yeah.
public. This is other than if you had to bring a
No,
client in, it's not something where a
that's
client
right.
can walk in and start comp shopping you,
No.
which goes back to your retail shopping. If you are
Hmm.
shopping retail, I get a lot of questions sent to me with between the Profit Academy and the podcast. And it's always a funny one when they're asking me about, shopping at like a Pottery Barn and then wondering how to not get comp shopped. Well, you kind of
Well,
answered yourself in
yeah,
there. Like this is where,
yeah.
so if there was more places that would provide the ability to see the
Hmm.
quality of things, and I think a lot of people are afraid to present something that their clients can't touch, feel, and see. So if you're able to show some quality, some
Well,
items, some like your sit test.
yes, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that it's hard because you do have to have a lot of square footage for a
Yes.
lot of furniture, right? So it's going to have to be done very carefully. But I can see like, RC is one of our big upholstery lines, and beautiful, beautiful upholstery. And I bought a small because it was when we were at our last space. It's just a small little love seat. Bought the extra cushions that had the different types,
Hmm.
and oh my gosh, I mean, it was just I couldn't believe how much our sales just went, you know,
Yeah.
uh, because people felt more comfortable about it, But
Yeah.
I learned for 20 years and I've never had a problem. I think it's our own mindset that says, "Oh, I would want to sit on it, so they're going to want to sit on it." We have to
You're
change that
right.
mindset,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, but yeah, you're going to get shopped if you're at Pottery Barn. You're going to,
Every time.
yeah. So I know that
Yeah.
you do a lot of custom upholstery, which we have a custom upholstery in the LA area as well. We could do whatever we want, which is nice.
Hmm.
But someday we'll have that conversation. So
Well, you in the States, you like when we go to High Point, Canadians, when we show up and go to High Point, we are
mhm.
flabbergasted at the amount of choices and options you have.
Yes,
We don't have that type of option. And in addition to that, the cost to bring the things over
are
with,
a
well,
lot.
we're now in depending duties, but even prior to that, with the dollar exchange, just it wasn't sometimes worth it. So
Uh-huh.
that's where the custom really became something bigger for me and to avoid the comp shopping. And,
Yeah,
Canadian, everyone wants something that's made like, US made. You're very proud about being US made. We're very proud about Canadian made. Same thing.
I'm sure.
And so it's a great, an easy way
Hmm.
for the furniture to sell itself.
Yeah,
And, and that's just a tool anyone can use anywhere you live. Doesn't matter if it's North America. And we've got a lot of people in England and Ireland and Australia. We've got a lot of people. So,
hmm,
you'll find those places and you'll make work what needs to happen, but you do need to try and get away from the retail. Anyone can look it up on the website. Anyone can show up in a store. And as soon as there's a sale, your client wonders why you're not offering a sale price. So you're always going to end up with that same argument, which you need to find the
hmm.
local co-op or you need to find
That's right.
somebody who can
That's
sell you
right.
that wholesale and get out of that
Yeah.
cycle because you'll never get ahead. You'll always end up fighting and always having to prove your worth and you're not standing out. The neighbor
Hmm.
can have the same item. Like there's
Yep.
nothing stopping all the neighbors from having the same thing. And quite
Yep.
frankly, who wants what the neighbors have? You want something
No.
special, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We even got there's a gentleman up in Forest Hill, uh, owns 1,000 acres. So he had reached out to quite a few designers that I know, and he also reached out to makers. And so he was trying to figure out how to manage his forest. It was genius. So he reached out to me and said, we want you to design things for your clients and you can use the wood. I could use the wood there. So I said, well, let me try this. I was doing 2 islands for my hard surface area. And so I got to go up to his forest, pick out the wood, the tree. They cut the tree down, they milled it in the forest, they took it to kiln dry it. I just gave him a very detailed drawing. I need each piece of wood to be this size. I connected him with my cabinet maker. They made they are so beautiful, Laura. I mean, but I guess what I'm getting at is what an amazing story, right?
Yes.
So this has made me
That's
so
beyond
excited.
custom. I
Well,
went and
that
plucked the tree out of the forest is a whole new level. It's not a Christmas tree.
That's
But I mean,
fantastic.
but what an
Any chance he's
amazing.
got a Corey in Italy with some like marble? Because I'll go with you.
Oh
Joking.
gosh,
Sorry to
let's do
interrupt
it.
you.
Let's do it. No, that's okay. But I mean, these are things that we get opportunities that,
Hmm.
and how special is that? That I can, make a cool console, or I can make a dining table, and that client has that story.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not the neighbor's table.
That's right. One
You
of a
can't
kind.
have this
That's
table.
right. And to
Yeah.
your point, there would be a lot of pride in telling that story as the homeowner.
Hmm.
Well, thank you, because
Yeah.
this was you won't believe it. Our designer
Yeah.
went out to the forest and picked the tree. Like
It's
people
awesome.
eat that up. They love that,
Yeah.
right? Like what, like
Hmm.
to your, like, I mean, that's a beyond a conversation piece,
Yes, it
right?
is.
Like that is,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I love this whole concept because I love that yes, it's a business within a business for sure. Of course,
hmm
I mean,
hmm
when you were saying that, yes, there's a small fee, I was already going into like all the procurement and all the details, like it's all done, right? Like
yeah.
you think about all those hours that somebody else is like as the individual running their business that you're doing that.
hmm
Now it's been passed off. It's almost like
Yeah.
having an assistant.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. It's all
That's
being
right.
done for you and you can move on and keep going on with the next project. And now it's like I mean, I don't even know if someone else would put that together, but that's how I was thinking of it. I was thinking of
hmm
it, well, now it's almost like having an assistant who's going to run with those items and make it all happen for you.
Yeah. So we have I've had to develop some very specific processes.
Hmm.
How's that word process?
Yes.
Uh, so, yeah, they send, I have Allison, who is my studio manager. I could not do this without her, especially now. In the beginning, I did do it all by myself, but trying to run my own company with, 15 to 30 jobs going on at a time, it just got to be where I can't do this. So I did hire Allison, and Allison, she's the one that deals with all the communication with the designers, and then she's the one that structures our rep day. They send her the PO, she copies and pastes it into our PO, sends them off to everybody, and kind of is there when if there's what do you call it, damages. We have to, she's going to be the one that's going to help.
Hmm.
Now that we're at 21, she's saying, I might need it.
Yes, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, 21 and how
because
many
because
projects each?
it's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
bet.
there's a lot. So
Yeah.
it's but I do, there's so much value, and the community, I think, is my favorite. Just we just love getting together. We go to market together.
Mm.
We go on field trips. Went to San Francisco this last year, stayed the night, and I set up for our vendors. We had like three different vendors that did parties at different times over a couple days period, and for us. And so we got to go to Sub Zero Wolf. We got to go to Visual Comfort did a training for us, uh, and then we went to dinner, and I mean,
Yeah,
just it was just a
lovely.
nice trip. It was educational, but fun.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of it. Like you're 21 designers who can help each other bounce
Mhm.
ideas, I'm sure. Or if it's a job that you can't take on, I'm sure that you would trust
Yes,
somebody
we
in your
try.
community to take that
Absolutely.
on, or that's not what I do, but I know someone who does. And so it creates and cultivates the power of, first of all, women, which
Hmm.
I know that you had said it's all
Yes.
women, so that's why I'm confident in saying
Well,
I'm
I
not
have,
sure like if
I just signed, we just
oh,
signed our first gentleman,
oh, that's
Joey, and
exciting. I know we need more men.
he has been a crack up. I mean, all
Yeah,
the ladies love him, and I think they were surprised because they weren't real sure at first, but he came to a couple of the
that's
events,
awesome.
and it was just they're like, "Oh, we love Joey."
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, welcome, Joey.
Yeah,
We should get
welcome,
Joey on
Joey.
here to talk about how he's probably the only
Yeah.
man in a lot of designer events, right? Like there's so
Yeah,
few. Yeah.
absolutely.
But, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
always say, and it's a habit, a bad habit, which I need to knock off. But I mean, I've only ever heard from women. I've only ever had women on
yeah,
here generally that are designers. So it's such an easy term to, and I need to stop it because it's not that generic. But I know when you and I had
yeah.
spoke originally, it was,
It was
you
all
were
ladies,
women.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 But
That's fantastic.
and so when I'm sending emails to them, I have to say, I usually would say, hello, ladies. Now I have to say, oh, and gents.
Joey.
Joey.
Little did he know he was going to be a hot topic today.
Yeah.
So, what are the goals for the co-op? I mean, you clearly are in demand. You're clearly growing at a rapid rate. What is the
Yeah.
future goal for? Is there any big, hairy, audacious goals for
Well,
the
I
co-op?
think my goal right now is, I have just secured the space next door and figured
You
out
just
how
got
to
the dust
attach
off
the
your desk.
two. I did. I did. I did. Well, what happened was I wish someone would have said something to me while I was in construction before, because I'm having to redo some things because I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, the gentleman behind me says, "Oh, we're retiring and we're leaving." So all of a sudden, he left, and it's
Space opens
ready.
up.
I'm already like full.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I felt like I I don't want to take it on right now, but if I don't take it on, I'm going to be sorry later on, right?
Right.
So I think that's right now my goal is to get that started. And I think actually this week I think they're going to start demo over there. Um, so that's
Exciting.
is to bring a little bit of furniture over, and I'm going to make it a little more boutiquey because it's on the front side. But yes, we do not. I'm kind of tucked in the back, and I like it that way because I don't want people just walking in. If they come in, they have to be invited.
Yes, that's fair.
So
Yeah.
so it's really the ladies. This is their space. They can treat it as their space, and bring clients in as they need to. So we even have to now have the conference room booked. So if you want it, everything's digital, so they can just do it right online and book the conference room to say, hey, I'm doing a presentation, I need that space. So and so far it seemed to be okay. We haven't had any overlap or any negative thing about not being able to handle everybody. So
Well, the one thing women are good at is we're chatterbox typically, and we also are great communicators most
yes,
cases. So it'd be
most
easy, I'm
cases.
sure, to like, I made a
Yeah,
mistake, or can anyone give me this time, or whatever the
yeah,
case may be. So,
yeah.
so everybody who is in your space currently, who is renting an office, they have
Mm-hmm.
access to your boardroom. But if
Yeah.
somebody didn't want to be in the office regularly, but wants to use your services, that's also an option.
So our ladies that don't have an office here can still come in, and I have different work areas all throughout the showroom. So they can just kind of like, pick the
Yeah,
tile room, pick the
right.
so they're able to come in whenever they
And
want
if
to come in
somebody
and source.
wanted to benefit from your buying power who might not be
Hmm.
as local, can they
Uh-huh.
reach out to you as well?
They can. There
Yeah.
there would just be a different percentage. And we actually have been talking about that because what's funny is that my last two designers that signed up, that would be Joey and Maria. Maria called me, and it was right after High Point. And so I don't know, somebody's talking because she calls me and she says, I'm relocating to the Sacramento area and I'm at High Point. And she says, five different people told me I needed to call you. And I said, really? And she says, yeah. She goes, I was on the bus and some designer told me I needed to call you. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
oh, okay, well, this is good. And we had a big grand opening, and she says, well, I'm going to be there Thursday. And I said, well, we're having a grand opening party if you want to come. And so she literally landed at Sac Airport and came to the party first. That was the first place. And she was like, oh my God, this place is awesome.
That's
And so
awesome.
it just made me feel good that,
Yeah.
we've worked so hard to get everything going and to create a place that everybody feels good to be in. So, and it's always a work in progress. So
Yeah. And it sounds like it's working. And so whatever you've poured into it, because I know you're very good at this, clearly.
yes.
And you're investing in yourself and the business
Yes.
all the time, which is also, I always think you need to be doing that too, because otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
So where can people who are interested in learning more about your co-op reach out to you? Where can they learn more about this?
So actually our website is almost going to get launched. I'm waiting for pictures, but you can reach out to me at Designs With You in Mind through Instagram, or you can email me at Kathy@designswithyouinmind.net. And we would love to chat with you if you are interested. So.
And I'll put all of this in the show notes, but also I think this is going to air in March or early April. So maybe the website will already be up. Don't hinder not looking.
And actually it should be. So
yeah.
Right now I was just waiting. We had to get done, and then I just need to bring, it's going to be because then we started to talk about doing the construction. So I've got to get it photographed before we start to do construction again, because I don't want to wait any longer.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I've, paid my web designer to get it all going. We got our logos and all that stuff done. So, but it's all an investment. Right?
I was going to say that's a costly one, so you kind of want it up and going, because I know how much that costs to do. So it's easier to add than it is to keep reworking it. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for teaching us today about the co-op. I think it's a beautiful thing for community and for the power of profitability, which I'm very big on.
Yes, I think that it's just, I love the fact that we're just so on the same page about,
you can't be doing this for free. I'm unapologetically in business to be profitable.
Right.
And I will say it until I'm blue in the face. And I know some people will probably roll their eyes and think, good God, that woman's about money. No, it's not that. It's that I work too darn patootin' hard to not have something at the end of the day that is representative of the hours and the love and the devotion and the sweat and the sleepless nights.
How many times in the middle of the night did you solve a problem that woke you up? Oh,
right.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Too many. Yeah. The lesson is, if I got more sleep, maybe more good ideas would come to me, but that's not normally
that's not
how this works. Well, thank you again. I appreciate your time.
Laura. I appreciate it.